Welcome to the final part of this video series on finding meaning in life. If you've seen any of my previous videos, you will see that I've been exploring the topic of how to find meaning. I've been taking you on my own journey of feeling a bit lost. And my motivation for doing this is because I've felt like I've been lacking a bit of purpose, lacking a bit of meaning, and I wanted to really understand what that would look like to discover what's meaningful for myself. And up until this point, I've been very goal-driven. I say that to reflect I've always worked towards things, and I've been quite good, I'd say, overall, at motivating myself to pursue goals. Then somewhat recently, maybe in the last 12 months in particular, the goals haven't felt as exciting. I haven't felt the pull, the drive, the excitement to achieve the goals. I've almost felt like I can imagine the goal being achieved and then thinking, so what? Nothing changes. You still don't know what you're doing. You still feel a bit lost. And that's been challenging. So for me, I wanted to shoot a video daily to really understand my own mind and hopefully to share some insights and discoveries along the way. What I didn't realize is every day of shooting a video, it's been therapeutic. I say therapeutic in it's been a way for me to verbalize what was in my mind and to get it out of my head and into a video format. And in that process, it's really allowed me to see things a bit more clearly. So I'll just explain a little bit about where I got lost and where I felt I was struggling, and then I will share with you the big breakthrough I've had recently and where I think I'm going to go going forwards. So I was lost in the pursuit of goals, lost in the direction, and the way my mind was trying to solve this was to sit down, reflect, and think of the path I need to align with. So I was trying to think of what goal I want to achieve or where I want to arrive in the future so I can make sure the actions I'm taking now align. So imagine where I want to be 12 months from now, all the steps I'm taking now leading me there. And I was struggling to find a vision. I was struggling to find, well, where exactly do I want to end up? What goal do I want to achieve? And everything I thought of didn't quite work. So my mind thought, well, Adam, you just haven't got a strong enough reason. You haven't got a strong enough goal. Keep looking. Keep trying to find the goal. Keep trying to find the reason to get more out of yourself. So I did. I kept looking. I kept looking for different avenues to explore. And everything just kept sending me back to a model of do this to get that. And by that I mean do the hard work to get to the outcome. Sacrifice the short term to get the long term. And I've played those games my whole life. And now I was like, I don't want to sign up for another one right now. As funny as that might sound, I don't want to just jump straight back on the hamster wheel and into the next game. So as I'm trying to think my way through this, the mind's trying to create some certainty around the future. It's like, well, Adam, if you do this, this can lead here. And I was feeling a lot of resistance to those paths. Also feeling like maybe a connection with what I'm doing. I'm not fully engaged with what I'm doing in terms of career path, in terms of maybe life path as well. And it was really sending me into a spiral that wasn't leading anywhere. You know, when you ruminate and you kind of go around in circles and everything feels a bit daunting. I'm sure a lot of you can relate to this, and especially in the world of AI that we're going into, if you start thinking about AI too long and where it's going to lead in the future, your head can just explode. Both thinking about what it's going to do for yourself, but also what it's going to do for the world and everyone you know, it can be very scary and very overwhelming. And I felt like I was in this state of overthinking, overwhelm myself. Now, somewhat in the last week, I'd say, I started to I started to align myself with an idea of maybe the mind doesn't have the answers. It was actually the second video I did, I think, on this topic, the mind's in the way. But I started to realize that maybe the search for meaning is all wrong. Maybe the fact you're looking for a clear direction means you're looking for certainty. You're looking for what's right, what's wrong, what you should do, what you shouldn't do. Maybe the search is wrong. Maybe the whole pursuit isn't the right one. And I started to think that maybe it's a lot simpler. Maybe the actual question we're looking for, or I've been looking for, is the wrong starting point. All right, so as I started to realize this and I started to come to terms with living in the moment, take the next step, which I'll expand on soon, I was reading a book called Inner Excellence and had this amazing passage by Viktor Frankl. Now, Viktor Frankl has a great book called Man's Search for Meaning. Read that if you get the chance. Very short book, about 180 pages. It's about his time in the Holocaust. He was a survivor of that. And he's talking about how trying to find meaning in a really, really challenging environment. Almost everyone is going to die around him. And he was looking at how people dealt with that extreme. Which people found meaning in this suffering and which ones didn't. And he basically could see over time the people who were clocked out of life, the people who struggled to find meaning to the madness of being in a concentration camp, and the people who kept themselves mentally strong. Great book, I recommend reading it. Now, the passage that I came across in a different book called Inner Excellence really summarized things perfectly. So I want to share it, and then I'll give my insights on it. So in the concentration camp, he said, we needed to stop asking about the meaning of life and instead thinking of ourselves as those being questioned by life daily and hourly. Being questioned by life. That was the point I underlined. What a better way to look at it. Rather than trying to find meaning, what happens if you should be asking, what is this moment asking of me? What is this moment expecting of me? What can I bring to this moment? And it changes the whole narrative, because for me, I was trying to look at what do I need to do to get to where I need to go. Very self-centered, very me, the ego. Whereas if you bring it to the moment's asking you a question. Think about that. This moment's asking you a question. What's this moment asking of me? And every time, the moment's always asking you to show up in some capacity. And for me, the moment's always asking me to show up fully. Show up fully in the moment. Step into the fear. Do the uncomfortable thing. Do the hard thing. Just do the thing that's in front of you, not the next thing. And I've really been able to internalize this myself, is rather than trying to sit there, find meaning, reflect on it, I feel, for me, my personality, maybe for you watching as well, the better question is, what is this moment asking of me? And living your life from that lens. So let's play an example. Let's say I was going to approach my life from the other lens of trying to find meaning, which I've been doing. So now I'm trying to think of where I want to end up, the person I want to be, and the goals I want to achieve. And then I'm going to start thinking about the actions I need to take. All right, so first of all, let's say I want to grow this YouTube channel to 10,000 subscribers and host loads of retreats and events for people who want to find meaning in their life. So I create this vision. And then I start going, okay, I need to do these actions. I need to do these videos. I need to make sure I'm doing all these aligned behaviors, grow my following, grow my subscribers. And then over time, that will get me to that goal. All right, so that's you're trying to find the meaning. You're trying to get the mind to create a narrative. And what the mind's doing there is piecing together lots of dots and saying, if I take these actions, that will lead to there. Okay, great, we can tap into that energy of that story in a way, all right? And you'll see a lot of people have success this way. You see athletes are great at this. Athletes have a 4-year Olympic cycle, and they will literally, every single training session is part of the story of, this is the path to the Olympics. This is me peaking in 4 years' time or 3 years. I'm ready for the Olympics when it comes, and every session links to that, all right? So there's definitely certain people that works well for the certain goals you're trying to achieve. So that's the find a meaning model. The other one, the asking what the moment expects. Imagine, really relate back to my situation. Now, all I need to focus on is now. Do what's in front of you, and the next step will appear. So from there, I will put the camera on today, shoot the video, upload it, be done with it, and the next step will be apparent. And for me, giving fully to the moment and let the next moment open up just feels the better way to live, at least for this stage of my life. Maybe when I was younger and I was more goal-driven, it was the opposite. Hence, I'm only just discovering this. But I think there's a lot of wisdom in living in the moment. You've got a lot of kind of spiritual context that leads here. You've got Eckhart Tolle's The Power of Now, which arrives here in the now. You've got Michael Singer's work on the surrender experiments, where he talks about surrendering from the mind and the mind's ideas and let the moments in front of you tell you what's to come next. And the only challenge with this is the mind hates it. Because what you're saying is, mind, stop trying to solve the problems, which mind is a problem-solving machine, in case you haven't noticed. I'm just going to live in the moment and let it happen. The mind just goes, this is reckless? What happens if we lose it all? What happens if we haven't got money? What happens if we haven't got our reputation? What happens if everything crumbles because we're not paying attention? Mind stuff. But if you run an experiment for yourself and just imagine the moment you are in, you are present for it. You give it your best effort and you allow for the next moment to unfold after. Just imagine, just for a thought experiment, living your life that way. Full engagement in the moment and let the next moment appear. I'm not going to say what could go wrong, because things can go wrong, but how could you not feel that's going to be a better way to live? For me, it's just like, it's kind of black and white now. It's almost like, if I could live in that state of being present in the moment and let the next one appear, take on the risk of that, take on the vulnerability, take on the uncertainty of it, what other way do you want to live? You can live in the mind trying to protect you from that, but the reality is, there's a moment in front of you, give your best to it, and there'll be another one. That is the reality. Regardless of what the mind creates story narrative, the future, we don't know. I could plan out my next 6 months, and that plan could get ripped up in 24 hours, just based on life getting in the way of things happening. So yeah, this is my conclusion on this. I went from trying to figure out what would be meaningful, which is a mind game for me, or at least it had been, and I've started to lean into the question of, what is this moment asking of me? Live in that moment fully engagement with the moment. Don't judge it. Don't try to make it what it's not. And then let the next moment unfold. And the more of those I can string together, the more I can just live in the moment, let the next one appear, clarity just seems to appear. Not clarity is in the mind knows what's next, but clarity is in, this feels like the right path. This feels like the best way to navigate yourself. And then having trust in yourself to figure things out as they come up, not a pre-plan. So for example, these videos now, I literally have the raw idea in my head, speak to the camera, shoot it in one take. Every single one of them, maybe a little bit of mumbling at the start where I've started the first 20 seconds again. Each one has been a one take shoot. And I could have easily scripted these and done them nice and clean. This section, this section, this section. Okay, that makes sure I always remember that stuff. Very rigid, make sure I perform well. Whereas now, I'm just allowing whatever comes up. If I forgot something that I thought was important, it wasn't important enough. I forgot it. And whatever comes out, unpolished, maybe not as watchable as if I did it in bullet points or clear sections, but this feels more authentic to me. This feels like what I want to be doing. Letting the moment arise, express what I want to express, and be okay with that. Not performing, but actually being here. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video series. If you did, let me know in the comments. Let me know your favorite video from this series. If you didn't know this was a series and you've just arrived for the first time, I've got a playlist called Finding Meaning in Life. There's 20 videos. You can jump in and out of them as you wish. And yeah, I think you get a lot of value from them. I did this for myself mainly. And then also as I'm sharing these, for anyone else who's trying to find meaning in life beyond the usual paths, beyond just the goal seeking, trying to get more achievements, more money, more status, trying to find something else. If you're a bit lost on this path, hopefully some of these videos I've done have been helpful. And yeah, thank you so much for watching them. And I'll be back with further videos going forwards. I'm now going to go to a once a week model. So I'll do a video every week on whatever topic is, I think, beneficial. And yeah, I'll see you in the future videos.